Welcome back to West Texas View.
Wait, it hadn't started. Welcome back to the West Texas View. I'm Johnny Lou Avery, and Carl Rippey and I have been talking and sharing some of our thoughts and experiences in goal setting. And we talked the first session primarily about how to dream and begin to focus on what you wanted to do and be and have, and to write it down so you could crystallize it out and really begin to set some specific goals. And then last time we talked about the obstacles that you encounter. You always have the naysayers, the people who say, you can't do that, that's stupid, you're not, you didn't inherit a lot of money, or you didn't do all of, you're not a genius, you can't do all those things. But you can do them. All you have to do is to have a plan of action. So he talked about knowing what your benefits are. Why do you want to reach that goal? And all of us have a reason why we want to do the things we do. And what rewards will we get when we reach that goal? So you have to write that down too. So that's the second part of your plan of action that you're making for each goal that you write. And then we come to the obstacles. These people that are saying you can't do it. Write down all of the things that you think people are going to say to you about that particular goal. And then we get down to the timeline. And how do we figure out how soon we can do it? And let me tell you my experiences, no matter what you put down, you can accomplish it sooner than you said.
And that's a real bonus, because then you're really fueled and you can jump onto that next level. And one of those ways to focus on that and to set your timeline is if you perceive or you conceptualize your end result. What first you've qualified why you're doing it. You've kind of worked through some of those steps, and you know that there is going to be the naysayers, and people are going to ask you questions like, who do you think you are? If you have an answer written down, like I get that quite a bit, who do you think you are? I say, I'm nobody to trifle with.
I'm one of God's children.
With something, So you get to the point where you've conceptualized the end result. You then work backwards from that end result and you create yourself a timeline. And if you get to your achievement before your deadline, all the better. Another key thing in writing your goals down, and I call this the Benjamin Franklin, or some of the greats did this as part of their goal writing. They wrote down what they were already before they were that thing already. Like Thomas Edison, he wrote down that he had invented the light bulb and that there was a light bulb in every household in America. Way before he got to that point, before he invented that.
Before he understood what the filaments were and all of these things.
Yes, all of his experiments.
But he knew that he had in him the ability to make a huge difference in the universe.
Yes, and I may have gotten my person wrong. I don't know, was it
Thomas Edison?
Yes, okay. I'm thinking all of these people. In the Smithsonian Institute is his diary where he wrote that down way before he actually did invent it. So he put himself in that place. And
that's visualizing.
That is truly visualizing. And what you do with your goals, I suggest getting them all in one place, is if you look at them in the morning, look at them in the afternoon or at night, whatever's the most convenient. But if you continually keep that digest it, you will find that as you go through the day, as you go through the week, the month, the year, you are headed toward that goal. Sometimes when you're not even thinking about it, when you're not even trying.
You attract the results to you.
If it's clear. And hopefully you've written, even if you've just written one goal down, I encourage you to do that. My goal for today is to find a person to cut my hair.
That's a tiny goal. But the important thing is, as we look at goal setting, is that you can accomplish big goals and little goals. But the more goals you have working in your life at one time, and the way I keep it straight is we as a family, because our whole family is goal setters, and we tape our goals inside our closet door. And every time we open that closet, they're right there. And we know exactly where we are, we're reminded. And one of the reasons that I'm so big on goal setting is I grew up with people sitting on the front porch talking, and me as a little kid sitting there listening to them. And I heard my father and mother and their brothers and sisters, my aunts and uncles, and they would say things like, you know, one day I thought I was going to learn to fly a plane. And I'd say, why didn't you? And they'd say, oh, I forgot about it, or life took over and it got lost in the shuffle, or there was all kinds of silly excuses. And they would say, you know, I never did like my job. I've worked there 30 years, but I never did like, well, why didn't you change? Well, you have a family to support and you do all that. And so there was always excuses to fail, not reasons to succeed. And that's what I think goal setting does. It gives you a way to succeed.
It does, it does. And if you ask yourself, what is my objective? You can ask 10 people what their objective is, and a lot of times you'll get 10 people that say, I don't know.
What's an objective?
Yeah.
Well, we've got 1 minute, so tell anything else in your experience that you want to tell about how goal setting has been an important part of your life.
Being in television has made me a better person, and I have everyone to thank that has helped me get here. It's very humbling.
But people help you when you know what you want to do. They stand back and let you get there when you know what you want to do.
Or they will absolutely cut you down. Don't let that affect you more than just for the moment. You have to rise above that. And the other thing that I would say, probably one of the most important things in answering that question is, if you get asked why you want to do something, you just tell them that it's on the inside and you want to live that out, or it's just going to bug you to the point where you will be frustrated with yourself.
And you'll find yourself growing so quickly when you're setting goals. It's been such a pleasure to have Carl here with you. I hope we sparked some interest in your own interest in goal setting. There's lots and lots of great books in the library if you want to check some of them out. And we'll be back next Sunday with another program. Thanks you for joining us today.
Thanks for joining us for News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery. This has been a public affairs presentation of KWAB TV and KWES TV.